currency markets today. This is what the Forex majors, the crosses, are doing right now. Dollar yen is really the one that we're watching right now. We're sitting at 90.37. Let's get straight to Dariusz Kowalczyk. He's Chief Investment Strategist over at SJS Markets. Dariusz, I mean, we can see what's going on with the dollar-yen level here. We're sitting at 90.34. You believe, though, that we're going to see an even firmer yen. In fact, it could get right to 87.
Exactly. I think that the forces that have been pushing the pair lower are going to remain in place, and there are four of them. First, investors are upbeat on prospects for stronger Japanese growth under DPJ administration. Second, the new government seems to want to drive this growth through domestic demand rather than exports, so maybe they will not be so insistent on the yen not strengthening too much. Third, the dollar has become the new funding currency, given that the 3-month LIBOR in the greenback is the lowest among majors. And fourth, we are still unwinding the trends that occurred in the markets due to the crisis. So the steep rise in the dollar last year is still being reversed. And the question is, how long are these trends going to last? I think that they will still persist for a while, pushing dollar yen to 87 sometime during the course of October.
Well, could this be almost a longer-term trend, Dariusz? I mean, we're not expecting to see higher rates coming through in the US at any time soon. And as you said, the dollar is becoming the preferred funding currency for the carry trade.
I think that the 2 points you just mentioned will not last through the end of the year. First, our forecast is for Q3 US GDP growth to be somewhere between 4 to 5% quarter-on-quarter annualized, well above consensus. If this becomes the case, then markets will begin to anticipate a Fed rate hike. I think it will come in the first quarter of next year, and the dollar will no longer be the cheapest to fund the carry trade. At that point, the greenback is likely to turn higher versus other currencies. I think it would happen around the end of October. And second, if the yen does strengthen below 90, then I think the chance of an intervention by Bank of Japan will grow, because in the short term, the country is still so dependent on exports that loss of competitiveness would really kill the recovery that's ongoing there, and the new government will not be able to afford it. So I think sometime at the end of October, the dollar will bottom out and the dollar-yen rate will start moving higher.
Dariusz, I've been finding it very, very difficult to find a dollar bull around. Does this mean that your trade would be, you become bullish for the dollar around about the end of October going through into December? So you're short dollar now, long dollar then?
Exactly. Right now, the downward pressures on the dollar will remain. I don't see the reason for the trend to be reversed, barring a major correction in global equity markets, but I don't expect that to happen. But after third quarter US GDP data, it will become clear to the market that the US is leading the world in growth, and maybe one of probably the first major central bank, maybe aside from Australia, to hike interest rates. So this will be a game changer. From that point onwards, through sometime maybe in the middle of 2010, the dollar will be in a rising trend. It will end this year actually at 94 against the yen.
94, all righty. Okay, we'll keep an eye out for that. Dariusz, thank you so much for chatting with us today on Cash Flow. Dariusz Kowalczyk with me there, Chief Investment Strategist from SJS Markets.